What the fuck, Phasmophobia? Like, if you haven't been keeping up, Phasmophobia has gone through an update over the past week for its character customization and animations. And yeah, it's been up for a week and the reviews are pretty one-sided, I can say. For the first time, it's gone from a positive to a mixed review on Steam. That says a lot. Yeah, like, I just have to get some shit off my chest because I feel like, I'm really like sort of just passionate about like Phasmophobia, because I think it's for a lot of people as well, like just something that's a bit like near and dear to your heart because of essentially how Phasmophobia kind of like got all this popularity. Back in like when COVID began, it's like 5 years ago now, COVID kind of like forced us all to be indoors. Then a whole slew of video games came out like in 2020. It just kind of like, brought everybody back together again. The co-op sort of fun with your friends kind of video game thing kind of just blew up like in 2020, and a lot of the bigger hitters are like a sort of up there. So like Among Us, of course, and Phasmophobia came out I think in September. Fall Guys also got some big popularity, like, and there's a lot of things to mention. And I think the genre of like just like co-op games with your friends to like laugh and sort of just like hang out and have like a socially like experience with them was pretty big during the lockdown for everybody. Phasmophobia in particular, like, was a very niche thing that seemed to be like a formula that was just like lightning in a bottle. It came out at the right time. It was a really good, like, sort of just like gameplay mix or gameplay loop of investigations. And my cat just came to say hello. Hey, Felix. Yeah, it just came to like say hello at a time, like Felix just did. Which was like just super opportunistic. It was a good hook, and then it spawned like a bunch of like copycats and like clones and whatever have you like after that. And Phasmophobia kind of like was to set the trend for what that kind of gameplay should look like. And it worked, and it was fun. It was rudimentary, but I mean, it was early access, and we all like kind of like give grace like to people that have games released under early access. It's a cool thing to like go with the development of a game, and I see how the game sort of like like balances itself and like kind of fixes itself on the journey. But man, like I feel like the community has been burned so hard by this update that came out. As much as I love Phasmophobia and I like the sort of lore involved, the mechanics and the systems and everything like that, I do not like how they've handled the property since it was released. They must be like probably the slowest like to implement changes and updates and expand the game's gameplay like out of all the indie devs I think that's out there. Now, I'm not gonna like sort of like sit here and sort of just pretend that like video game development is like easy. I do not know what it takes, but as a person that like consumes video game content all the time, I think I have somewhat of an opinion, like that I can like cast on this thing, because I've seen what other indie devs do with their properties. And like, like the darling right now like is Repo. Repo is a fantastic little game, and you guys should definitely check it out. And the devs behind them as well, they can tell them so passionate. There's so much effort gone into their little like sort of project with their little team. It makes it look so polished and like quality driven, and like there's like actual like like hardcore attention to detail to everything they do. Everything comes out like, sure, there's bugs as well. It's also a game of early access, but like, damn, they're like so snappy to the changes that the community wants. And if the game is broken, they'll fix something or they'll update something. And like, it's only been out like since I think last year, March. Phasmophobia has been out for 6 years now. And I do not know, like, dude, like the minor changes they've made since the game launched in 2020 with the amount of money they made, which is like the real crux of the issue. It's just that Phasmophobia has made, as of the time of this video, they've made over $400 million. $400 million for an indie dev to achieve that is freaking astronomical, right? It doesn't show in the product, man. I gotta be honest, it doesn't show in the game at all. And with this new update, I hate so many things about this update. So many things. And sure, like, there was like a really horrible response that the art director of the game gave to the community. Officially, they've apologized for the state of the game, but I don't think it does the damage, because while the PR has like sort of apologized for what's happened, which we all kind of know PR is kind of bullshit, with the attempt to like have this veil between ourselves and the developers, or ourselves and the people that create products. So they'll say things that like just sounds like really good To hear an art director speak the way they do about a project that's been supported by a community as dedicated as the Phasmophobia one is shocking to me. If that's the attitude that the people in that office has, or however they're structured, if that's the attitude that those guys have, like producing a video game and updating it for so long, it has this much support behind it, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted that like that is the opinion that you have about a really awful fucking jank ass update. I had nothing to say about that. It's appalling. You guys produced a product. We bought the product, and you made promises. There's been so many cancelled roadmaps. You've made promises to update this game and do what you could to like fix the issues from the community, but holy shit, man, if this is like an inkling of like what the kind of like talk is amongst the developers at Kinetic Games, I don't fucking want to play your game. I'm sorry. If they're gonna push out an update just to sync up with this Alan Wake update, like I understand. Like you probably got the pressure from like a really big studio that owns a massive IP. I get that. You're a little indie dev. You want to impress the big bosses. But damn, this is not the way to do it, man. You don't burn your bridges with the community to do this. And also the second catcher showed up. I'm just like really pissed because like I play a lot of Phas and I just don't understand how they could drop the ball this hard. The game is still in early access. Apparently they're releasing the full game this year. I haven't heard much else since that announcement, like earlier this year, that they're going to be dropping a harder patch or harder update with the full game release. If this is part of like what the full game looks like, with this new animations and the slow ass gameplay and like shit that gets you killed because you have now hitboxes get hooked into like frames of things, or you have like delayed interactions between items so you can't catch quick events, or just trying to save your ass in the panic, you can't do those things because the controls are not as snappy as they used to be. You have to wait for some janky ass animation to pull things out of. So if that's like sort of the idea of like polished thing for a finished product this year, I am scared to know what the hell is going on with this harder patch update. That this is what they think a polished quality item is quite concerning, I think. And if this is the way that like a dev responds to the community's backlash, I am super concerned because I think they don't deserve the hype. They don't deserve the support. They don't deserve that money. They might have stumbled on a gameplay loop that is really good, but we don't deserve this kind of treatment to a game that we've all supported so much. They're so far out of depth with what they got, and so inept and incompetent in updating the fucking cool product they got. I am super concerned about what a full-priced, full-release Phasmophobia looks like. And I do not like supporting developers that can be so dismissive of terrible quality, to where I see people talking about how the game is just fucking broken and unplayable. And moments where like I've played the game where the frame rates were just fucking god awful, or where like there's just like items doing things that just gets you killed, or just like anything that gets in the way of gameplay. Because one thing Phasmophobia had going for it is that like it had really snappy gameplay. But yeah, like I'm gonna end it over here because I can honestly go on forever about this because I think this is honestly bullshit. Like, what the fuck are you doing, guys? You fucking up your shit, dude. Like, I mean, you fucking up the goodwill of the community to like support your janky ass early access thing. And we know it's jank. We all knew the backbreaking thing was funny as hell, but we got used to it. And that's kind of the quirk and like the charm that the game had. But when you say you got an update, when you say you're gonna make improvements, we want those words to mean something. An update, an improvement, whatever, like it's gonna be better than what it was before. But man, when you see things like this, like when people's heads are snapping back and like legs are just kind of like noodling, what the fuck are you doing? What is the definition of improvement? Yeah, so at the moment I'm like really pissed about like Kinetic Games and that particular post by that art director, who I will tell you, like, an art director to not be directing the art. Pull up your socks, dude. Pull up your fucking socks. Okay, the cats are getting pissed too. So, do better.